guys, so today I'm gonna do another book related video. I just finished filming another one, and in this one I'm gonna be doing a book wrap up of all the books that I read in the summertime and in September. Today is the 27th of September that I'm filming this, but I don't think I'm gonna be finishing another book by the end of it, so I'm gonna do the wrap up now. So in the summertime I ended up reading a total of 11 books, and then in September I only read 3 books. Last summer I only read like 1 book, but I wasn't into reading back then, and now I'm back into reading. So I think 11 books in 3 months is a pretty good thing, and I actually read most of them in June and July, because in August I think I only read like 1 book in August. Let me get started and go ahead and show you all the books that I read. I don't remember exactly in which order I read each one, but I do remember that the first book that I read in the summertime was Inferno by Dan Brown. Loved this book. I have made quite a few remarks in it. I think it was brilliant. Dan Brown is a brilliant writer. It had such a big plot twist at the end, like I didn't really expect at the end, like the truth that was revealed, I didn't expect it. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed it. The next book I read was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This was the second book that I read from Rainbow Rowell. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't like it as much as Eleanor and Park, but I still thought it was a really nice, like, teen young adult story. I liked the main character Kath, and I really liked her love interest Levi. The book is about this girl Kath and her twin sister Ren that are going to college. For the first time in their lives, they're not going to stay in the same room because Ren wants to kind of like party and go crazy, whereas Kath is like more introverted, quiet person. A bunch of things happen, and it's a really nice book. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't absolutely love it, but I thought it was a really good one, and I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And the book that I read next was To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I actually ended up listening to most of this in audiobook because I had barely any time to read. I really liked it. I actually liked it a lot more in audiobook because what do you call that person? The narrator. The narrator was just really fitting with the characters and her accent and everything, so I really liked it. The society in the southern, in the 1950s it is, I think, yeah. And how just they kind of thought back then, all of their beliefs. I really liked the character, like her father, Atticus. I thought he was a brilliant character. This book gets a 4.5 out of 5 stars. There were parts that I didn't really like, but overall I quite enjoyed it. So from now on I really don't remember which book I read in what order, so I'm just gonna start picking up the books. Another book that I read in the summertime was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I had seen the movie before I read the book, but I liked the book a lot more. It's written in kind of like a diary form. The main character Charlie is writing all these letters to a person about his everyday life, and we see everything from like his perspective of all the things that are happening in his life. I like how we see him kind of like grow up as the plot progresses in this 4.5 out of 5 stars. The book that I read was Me, an Earl and Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I didn't really like this. I mean, I didn't hate it, I just didn't think it was anything special. I heard really good things about it, and I expected to like it a lot more than I did, but I just didn't feel anything. I really liked Earl, but again, overall I didn't really enjoy it that much, but I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars because it was like just okay for me. Misery by Stephen King. I loved this. Stephen King is such a brilliant writer. 5 out of 5 stars for this right away. I loved it. It was just brilliant, really suspenseful. Is that a word? I don't think it is a word. The main story, and I actually really like the villain in this book. If you haven't read this, I highly recommend it. I love Stephen King's writing, and I haven't read much of him, but I definitely want to read more. So yeah, definitely again 5 out of 5 stars for this. Okay, next I read The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I read both of these in the summertime, and I actually read the third one, so I read the entire Hunger Games trilogy in the summertime. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was so amazing. I really like the whole world in the Hunger Games, and it's just very interesting. Yeah, I read the first one, absolutely loved it. Went to the second one, loved it even more, and then I wanted to buy the third book, but it was out of order from the bookstore that I'm getting these books. Because I couldn't wait, I actually read it online, and and that's why I don't have an actual physical copy to show you. Giving 5 out of 5 stars to all of these books and just the entire trilogy. I just absolutely love it. Another book that I read in the summertime was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. This book, oh my god. To say that I loved it would be an understatement. This is such a heartbreaking book. It's so beautifully written. It's just 5 out of 5 stars for this one. To cry, just get this. I remember I finished it like early in the morning and I was crying just silently on my bed. And I think this is the last book that I read in the summertime. I read Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I did not like this at all. I found it super boring, nothing special really. About this group of young like British boys that get stranded on an island after their plane crashes, and they're all super young. They're like from ages like 3 or 4 years old up to like 11 or 12, and they kind of have to form their own rules and like their own little society. Get what he was trying to show, that without rules, like people will kind of like, we would become a chaos, because basically the boys, not everyone wants to keep on following rules, and some of them kind of start to become a little more like savage, that like they all kind of become savages and these things happen. And just, I get that, but overall it was just very slow, very boring, and like I just didn't really enjoy it. I'm giving this a 2 out of 5 stars. I don't want to go too low, but yeah. So now moving on to the books that I read in September. Actually, in August, I started The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I finished this in early September. I got into such a big reading slump, I didn't want to read anything. It took me a whole month to read, but I enjoyed it. It was slow, but I enjoyed it. And it wasn't because of the book, it was just me. But this is a brilliant book. I'm sure you've probably heard of it before. I will give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't think it was mind-blowing or anything like that, but I did really enjoy the whole story, and I really like Oscar Wilde's writing. And the other book that I read in September was The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I love this, I love this, love this, love this. This is actually a trilogy, but the 3rd book is coming out sometime in the winter, so it's not out yet. Kind of like a post-apocalyptic world where there is like an alien invasion, and there's this young girl Cass that kind of tries to survive in this world. So many things, there's so much backstory in it that, you know, as you keep reading you find out more and more stuff. So I really, really like this. 5 out of 5 stars. Can't wait to read the second one. Finally, the last book that I read in September is Girl Line by Zoe Sag, or Zoella here on YouTube. First of all, I want to say that I really like the book, like the cover and everything. I think it looks very pretty. It was quite cheesy at certain parts, but it was like okay, like it wasn't super cheesy. Overall, I really enjoyed it. So it's a very classical story. You've probably read stories like this many times, but for me they never get old. I always enjoy reading these kind of stories, so I quite enjoyed this. I'm gonna give it a 4.2 out of 5 stars. So those are all the books that I have read in the summertime and in September. So that is for this video as well. I hope you liked it. Let me know what are the books that you read in the summertime or in September, whenever you want. And yeah, I will see you in my next video.